Hello good people, welcome back to the GTV from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you for the support, thank you for the love that you've been showing us. Remember, you can be part of our programs by supporting us via our till number, that is 9626895. 9626895. This is the Afya Leo program. My name is Caroline Bithe, and today in studio, she's no longer a guest, she's no longer a mgeni, she is part of the family. Welcome, Madam Rhoda. Kindly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, GTV, for giving me an opportunity today. Once again, I'm here for Afya Leo. Welcome.
Thank you. Today we are talking about something that has been emerging and something that people are really talking about in the society and in our country. Not only in our country, but it's kind of a global, imekuwa ni kama global thing yenye imekuwa ikiendelea, and that is teenage pregnancies. Let's start from, what do you think is causing all these cases, the teenage pregnancies?
Okay, thank you very much and welcome once again.
Yes.
Thank you, GTV. Thank you, Caro, for inviting me to this program. I'm so happy. Once again, my name is Rhoda. I work as a reproductive health nurse, although I do general practitioner work, and I work in the Ministry of Health, Kirinyaga County. So, you said teenage pregnancy, and you'd like to know why there is so much of teenage pregnancies.
Yes, because even from the research that has been done, the number is increasing day by day.
Okay. First of all, I'd like by explaining what is teenage. Teenage is age between 13 years and 19 years. And this applies for both males and females, of course. So that 13 and 19 years get pregnant. Some of them get pregnant at as early as 13 years. Others will get pregnant at 16, 17, and also 19. But today we want to discuss why there is so much of teenage pregnancies.
Yes.
Teenage pregnancy is, I said, the getting pregnant, or our girls getting pregnant before attaining the right age. And what I mean is girls are getting pregnant as early as 13 years, 12 years, 14 years. And this one has become a problem in our country, especially from the data that we receive from our country, or from the records of our country. We have seen that there is so much of teenage pregnancies, which is becoming a problem socially, economically, and also emotionally. And therefore, it has been discussed severally, and our research has been done through our hospitals, through our society, through our data from the villages, and now it has become a factor to consider, even as we plan for health. So what I'm saying is, in the Ministry of Health, we are really concerned about what we can do about these teenage pregnancies, because young girls of 13 years and 14 years, their bodies are not so adequate, of course, of giving birth. There are complications that come with pregnancy, and especially early pregnancies, according to the way the body structures are made, even the anatomy and the physiology of our bodies. So a young girl of 13 years actually, or even 14 and 15, getting pregnant and delivering a baby, that mechanism, it is a mechanism that is so much painful, or it can always complicate. So now it has become a concern in our nation, and that's why we are here to know what we can do about it. Yes.
What are the predisposing factors?
Usually, the predisposing factors of teenage pregnancies, there are many. There are so many, but there are some factors that predispose our girls to teenage pregnancies. Some of them are like upbringing, you can say, society. the upbringing of our girls, considering the way our economy has raised or has become a challenge, most of our parents or most of the parents are going out every morning. They are coming home very late. They are leaving their children with caretakers. So our girls are not undergoing the right parental education. And they are growing up in absence of their parents or even in absence of their mothers, if we may say, and their mentors. And therefore, there is some education that is supposed to come out from the family level. And some of our girls are missing this education. And especially sex education, which is supposed to be given as early as 5 years. So because of the way our parents are busy, some girls are missing this education, and therefore even when they go to school, it is not adequately given. So one of the factors that are leading them to pregnancy is social upbringing and family upbringing. That is just one. You can also say the economy also, economical factors. Economical factors, what I mean is, due to the challenges of the economy, you know, Carol, the economy has really become a challenge.
Sure.
And therefore, the mother decides to go to get money, and then the girl is also sent to source for money or to source for food. In some instances, the source of food may be a person who wants to do it in exchange of sex. And therefore, this girl will get food, but at the end of the day, she will get pregnant. And maybe she's as early as below 19 years. And the other one also, we can say also factors, emotional factors, especially because of hormones. Okay, at 13 years, girls will develop great other hormones that were not in their bodies. And also there is an increase of estrogen. So this one brings changes to their bodies. And therefore, when these changes come, their bodies become excited. When they become excited, if they are exposed so much, for example, to their male age mates, there is a very high risk. Unless these girls are well taught and well brought up and well educated to control themselves. No, the hormonal factors is also a factor that can lead. But basically these one now, when they are well educated, they can avoid this because it happens to everybody, including the boys. And therefore now, those are some of the factors that will predispose them to say a little, but there are many.
Okay, there's something you talked about upbringing.
Yes.
Is it something that is affecting both the girls and the boys? Because now you've talked much about girls.
Okay.
You've left out the boys.
Okay.
Is it something that is affecting both boys and girls?
All right. Yeah, it affects both boys and girls. Unfortunately, the boy child is not being spoken of, but we still need to speak about the boy child. But in this case, it affects both. You know, why we are talking about girls so much is that even at the end of every, for example, sexual activity, the picture will be seen through the girl.
Sure.
We may not tell whether the boy did ABCD, but we can tell the girl because we can see the fruits.
Sure.
And physically it's already effective. So it affects both the boys and the girls because the upbringing does not matter which child is affected. So it affects both.
Yes, and you talked about sex education.
Yes.
What is that? What are parents supposed to tell the child? Because you've talked about 5 years.
Yes.
What is that 5-year-old child supposed to be told, and what is he or she not supposed to be told?
Okay. When children are growing up, as a parent, you will realize when your child has started speaking. Okay, due to the developmental milestones, and these ones, it's not only for the educated, it applies both even for the uneducated, because there is that we call natural wisdom. It will tell you that this girl or this boy or this child is undergoing some milestones. And there is a point that a child reaches and the child is so happy touching their private parts. I think, Carol, you have seen that also. There is that stage when the child feels like going to the toilet every other time. Sometimes there is nothing to pass out, but they feel like just touching their private parts. So that stage is called the anal stage. So after that, there is another stage. Developmental milestones are 5. There's another stage when the child, the girl child will like staying close to the boy child. Also the boy child, you keep on following the girl child, and they are young. They are as young as 3 years, 4 years. And now you will realize now they're in another stage. And at this stage now, that is around 3 to 4 years, you need to introduce sex education. Sex education does not mean talking about going to bed. You start talking about these are your private parts. These parts are not supposed to be touched. You know, do not allow someone to touch your breast or your sexual organs. Now, when you start teaching your child like that, that is now as teaching your child about sexual education as early as that, and then you continue.
But don't you think that this can only happen if you create a very strong bond with your child? Because at some age, kuna wazazi wakali sana. You cannot even tell the parent ati someone was abusing me, someone did this to me. Unaogopa hata kuambia mzazi. Don't you think that the parents are supposed to have a very strong bond with their kids?
Okay, you are right, Carol, you are right. Parents are supposed to bond so much with their children. And actually that is, you are leading us to another factor of sexual abuse. Because now, some of the modern parents today, they are not bonding with their children. Instead, the children are bonding with their caretakers, especially the house girls, the uncles, the cousins. Other parents are sending their children to their relatives. So, as you said, it is very, very, very important for you parents, both the male and the female, or both the father and the mother, to bond with your children. Because at one incident, a child will have been abused somewhere, and then she or he will keep the information because you have not bonded enough, you have not become friends. So even these teenage pregnancies that we are talking about can be prevented as early as these young years by loving your children and bonding with them so much, such that even when the child meets with a stranger who wants to give a sweet, she straight away comes telling you, Mom, somebody was giving me a sweet, because you are already bonding, you are already in love. So parents also, I want to talk to you today. Please bond with your children as early as 2, as even the way you breastfeed, you mothers, the way you breastfeed your children, it is a kind of bonding. Do not detach even when the breastfeeding stops. Continue attaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just hold on there. Keep on sending your questions and your suggestions to Nurse Rhoda, and she will be able to give you a feedback. We are going for a short break. We'll be right back.